You're literally here for 80 years. You're here, billions of years go on, and you're here for 8 years, and then billions more years go on.
Yeah.
You might as well have a massive crack.
Big mindset shift for me was I used to think a lot of people cared about what I was doing, and they actually don't, because they're all too worrying about themselves and thinking, what does he think about me? But that person doesn't think, because they're thinking about themselves as well.
The cost of seeing other people do the thing and you not, I think that just gnaws away at you. It would like feed that little voice in your head that says, I'm not good enough. People like me don't get to do this. I'm not cut out for that. The more you feed that by not doing stuff, the stronger it becomes, and then it is your identity. Then you are the person who the life has just passed you by. We all know those people where they walk in a room and they just lift the energy. They've just got drive and intent, passion. You can see they're on a mission. You want to be around those kind of people. You're naturally attracted to them. So if you're that person, you're going to attract other people. You're having a fucking crack. And the conversations you're having in that group of people are all about how to find the yes. How can we make this win? How do we solve this problem? As opposed to, oh, did you watch Coronation Street last night? Oh my God, you see what happened on maths? Welcome back to yet another episode of the One Legend, One Bloke and One Business. Fucking hell,
Sorry, we're getting told off by Sergio already.
Let's go again.
What's wrong with that? It's real, mate. It's fucking real.
Are you going to go?
It's not scripted. You're doing it.
All right,
I thought that was a start. I thought we should just go into that.
told the fucking...
Yeah.
I'm going to do that again.
Oh, okay.
Welcome back to the One Legend, One Bloke. I've actually got two businesses now. Podcast. I'm not paying for a rebrand. Fuck that.
Oh, God. Thanks for having me on your podcast, mate.
That's all right, mate. We're actually struggling to find guests this week.
Yeah, appreciate that. What are we talking about today?
Well, normally we're talking about entrepreneurs.
You don't know, mate, because I did all the fucking
I was about to go on riff then. Like full riff it.
No, what's been happening in our world, mate?
England games are on. And obviously a little delay when these come out, but we've just watched Ghana part the bus for a 0-0.
Ghana.
Which I'm sure we could actually probably do an ep dissecting those football tactics and put them into a business metaphor. You know?
What is, if you're parking the bus in football, that's the equivalent of what in business? Or life?
Yeah. Scarcity.
Oh, yes.
Protecting what you've got.
Yeah.
Scared to actually have a crack.
Yeah.
Would rather lose lightly than not try to win.
Go down swinging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I love that. And what does parking the bus get you and scarcity get you?
A ball draw. One point.
Fuck all or 1 point.
Yeah, fuck that.
But you don't, like, 1 point's not, that's not getting you anything.
Oh, 1 point. Like it's almost like a pass mark in it.
Yeah.
That's like you just done.
I reckon 1 point every game in the Premier League gets you relegated.
Well, yeah. 40 points is the magic number they say, isn't it?
So you could actually go a whole season unbeaten and still go down.
Like, you know what? Certain people would be happy with that. Oh, but we're unbeaten.
Yeah.
Because they missed the big picture.
Didn't take any risks.
Fucking hell.
Fuck.
What else has been going on in our world, mate? This is really good. Shall I talk about my wanky back? This is good.
Yeah. Share your wanky back, mate.
Okay, so we're getting some insurance. We've got some insurance. We're getting some more on the business. So essentially, if I die, Harv gets a bit of money to buy my shares off Mads. Because we both agreed that I don't want to be in business with Brit and you don't want to be in business with Mads.
No.
So how do we sort that out?
Yeah.
Great. Also good. Yeah, you just need to do like a stress echo test. That's all good. I used to be on feed 15. I'm an athlete. No worries.
That's a heart test for like people that don't know.
Yeah. Harvard in first. Came out smiling, which is good. I'm in there and you get like the things put on you. Yeah, super relaxed, bothered about it. And then they just start, oh, yeah, wanky back. And I'm sat there going, this is a fucking prank. And then he gets someone else to come in. Nice. He calls someone else into the room, they're looking at the screen, and that's a secondary wanky back. And I'm waiting for eye contact, just to like, come on then, Harv's told you to say this, has he?
Were you naked?
Shirt off.
Yeah.
So then I'll go for a run on the treadmill, sit back down, they get someone else in. And this guy's got a little recorder, and he's saying all these technical words. He's going,
Asian fella.
Yeah. He's going, oh, yeah, that's a first degree wanky back or a second degree wanky back. And still no one's told me what the fuck is going on and what a wanky back is. Anyway, it turns out it's something to do with the electrical signals going for the top and bottom of your heart. Mine's just got a slight little delay. When my body is in rest mode, it doesn't just tick as consistently as it should. They say it's sweet. And if you're fit and healthy and active, my resting heart rate's quite low. So my body's just in idle. It's like when you start a car and it's not in gear. So it's just sweet. And then when I get it going, when I start running around, it like kicks into gear. So it's all good.
Yeah.
But the insurers, they probably don't like the look of that.
Yeah, they're not a fan of wanky back.
No. So anyway, I go to the cardiologist a few days later. And like, I'm pretty blasé with this stuff. Like, Mad's a bit of a warrior. Like, how you feel? I'm like, it's sweet. So I walk in, he goes, yeah, you're sweet. I think I told you the story. He said, I'm not asked. Well, I said, I'm not asked.
But no one's asked.
And I said, are you going to be asked? And he was like, no. So I said, all right, you tell the GP then that no one's asked, and he'll tell the insurer.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't be asked.
So he wouldn't park the bus against England at home.
What, who? What context?
The cardiologist. He's not scarcity mindset. He's abundant. You're like, well, yeah, it'll be fine. Obviously, it's just wanky back.
And he's kind of done us a favour because he's like, oh, I'll write it pretty creatively as well, because if he starts using any hesitation of doubt, the insurer will jump on it.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll just tell him he's sweet.
That's good. I remember, I did go in first. The doctor with the voice recorder, he actually was gassing me up a bit. He's like, oh, well done, very good. And then I came out and I was like, can you tell the guy that's in next that I like ran the furthest you've ever seen on the treadmill? They were like, yeah, sweet. And I think they said they were going to say that, but then when they realised you had wanky back, they didn't want to just really put the nail in the coffin. And then you called me after and you're like, yeah, mate, I've got wanky back. I said, fuck, how do they know that? I thought they were testing your heart.
Fuck, the best $20 I've ever spent.
Yeah. It's quite funny because I was like, oh, well, I passed. So I was like, you're all right. If I die, you get insured and a payout.
Yeah, but is it joint insurance or not?
No. I think I'm insured against you dying. So if you failed,
master plan all along. Unlucky.
Mads is going to have horrible.
So yeah, long story short, heart's kicking, alive and well.
Yeah.
Wanky back. Neil, Pally won.
Borussia Muction wanky back.
Oh, this is an absolute shambles, isn't it?
Oh, last update, a personal one, if you don't mind.
Yeah, you did tease this before, remember?
Yeah, I did tease it. I think when we recorded, the last episode would come out 2 weeks ago. We recorded on a Wednesday. On the Friday, I was popping the questions of Brit, and I did like one of those things where I was saying it out loud, but she didn't know by the time it comes out. Anyway, I did propose.
How's it being single?
It's class now. Yeah, no, it went really well. It was actually quite funny. We started this waterfall walk, and she one of the first things she said, she looked down at my pockets, and she was like, oh, this would be a really nice place to propose, but probably another missed opportunity. And I was like, oh, God, good job she looked at the old left one. I'm obviously too clever. I got one of the slim ring boxes, so I think it would have been all right anyway. And I put it in the pocket with the car keys, so it wasn't obvious. Then we continued around the walk, a few more pelters. She's just like, I think we're talking about Scally and Neats and their baby on the way. She's like, I wonder if Scally's going to propose to Anita before you propose to me. I was like, oh, yeah, no, I don't reckon. I mean, unless he's doing it in 20 minutes, we should be all right. And then she was like, I think we planned the rest of the day. She's like, oh, this is going to be such a good day. Like, I can't get any better. And I was like, oh, yeah, like, maybe. And then we did it. We got to the bit at the end where we had a picture on a rock, I think on our second ever date. And I knew that day that's where I was going to take Brit back to ask her the question. And then, sure enough, I did.
Bang. It was really nice as well. You got it filmed, and looking at the footage, just the astonishment, and the surprise and the shock of it. Yeah. It looked beautiful, mate.
She was like saying that I've got an idea. I had an idea that it was going to happen. I was like, no, you didn't, because if you did, you wouldn't have actually said, oh, this 100%. Would be a nice place to propose. And I just, because obviously we're doing a lot of content at the moment, I set the phone up on like a rock, and I was just like, oh, I just need to get a bit of B-roll and stuff like that. So I don't think she had any clue.
Come on, Brit. Let him have it.
Yeah.
Feel good, though? Feel different or the same?
No, definitely feel different. Yeah. I was speaking to Ange, one of the pilot testers of RAI.
Nice.
And she was like 100%. And they say when you get married, it doesn't feel any different. She's like, it does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She was like, it definitely does. Yeah. You got wanky back, remember? Your heart's not working properly. No, it's definitely.
Mrs. Wanky back.
Yeah, no, it definitely does feel different.
Yeah. I
think there's one element which is a weight off the shoulders. I was starting to get a lot of heat from all angles. And some would say deservedly so. I think we feel closer. I think for Brit, it's a big weight off the shoulders. No one's ever proposed to her. So I think now she feels like someone wants to marry her.
Bless her.
And I think subconsciously she was being a bit mean to me because I hadn't proposed to her yet. So it's definitely changed.
Another wedding. Here we go.
Another wedding and a bucks for Paoli to plan, which will be good fun.
I'm going to dress you up as wanky back.
How many times? We should get a wanky back counter on this podcast. Ding.
Minus the back.
Fucking hell. That's our other podcast. Anyway, remember that really important thing we had to speak about today?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
What was it?
No, I actually do. It's about, I'm going to fuck the words up. But long story short, the cost of inaction, the cost of doing nothing.
Yeah, the most expensive thing you'll ever do is nothing.
Love it.
And the kind of thought train I want people to go into is like, if you think back 10 years, maybe to you're a bit younger, a bit brave, a bit more like take on the world, you'd have told people in your friends group or at your university, yeah, I'm going to do this and then I'm going to do this. I'm going to get experience in this career. Then I'm going to start my own business or go and do this. And then if you look now, today is the day you were talking about where you'd have the business and you'd have done X, Y, Z, but you've just been stuck in that job. And people don't really stop to, I think, consider the cost of, there's definitely a cost of doing something. And I think people go into that. That's why the park the bus was good timing, because it's that scarcity mindset. But what is really the cost of not doing it? That's what people don't consider enough.
Oh, I just get so vexed up with this stuff. Like,
You like it?
you're literally here for 80 years, right?
Yeah.
Like you're here, billions of years go on, and you're here for 8 years, and then billions more years go on.
Yeah.
You might as well have a massive crack. You actually might.
Yeah. How did you get good at living like that? The cost of not doing something? Because you talk about it a lot. I know with the new business we're launching, Recruitment Agent Institute, part of your thinking is, what's the cost of us not doing it? Because you couldn't dare believe a world where we didn't do it because we just wanted to play safe and just keep Harwell ticking along. Then someone else did it and they nailed it.
But that's the thing. You kind of play it out in your brain. So we do it and it doesn't work. Great. Or we don't do it and it does work for someone else. I would not be able to live with that pain and the FOMO of it. And just looking in the mirror or seeing some of them pop up on Instagram reel for them and go, you bottled that because you're a pussy. I would much rather us have a crack with this. And if it goes wrong, we'll pick ourselves up, we'll learn, and we'll be better for it, as opposed to never trying. Young, naive, potentially, maybe in a year's time, if we're still recording this podcast in a dustbin because we've lost everything, we'll probably go, fuck, probably shouldn't have done that. But I think while we've got momentum, right, and while we've built up a bit of trust in terms of, yeah, let's go and do this, and we do it and it works, or it doesn't work, but we learn and we kind of don't die, things are still fine. Yeah.
I'd challenge you. I think if we were recording this podcast in a bin in a year's time, because it had all gone to shit, but it's because we'd had a crack, I think we'd be like, yeah, that's fine. Let's just have another go. There's so many options.
It just comes down to ownership again. Because if we are in the bin, hopefully it's because of mistakes we've made.
Yeah. And like, you learn so much from how do we end up in this bin? Let's have another go, but maybe let's not try and make that mistake this time.
Yeah. And this actually used to be in my Instagram bio. When I was a bit edgy. You win some, you learn some.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I do remember that. Yeah. Is that part of the tattoo on your ribs?
Oh, the quote. Can I tell that story quick?
Which one?
The fucking one about that every lyric in the world is on my ribs.
Paddy's got this awesome tattoo on his ribs. What actually is it? It's the Coldplay Fix You lyrics, isn't it?
I used to get, it was Now You're Gone. Remember that one?
Bass Hunter.
Yeah, Bass Hunter, that's the one.
Paddy's got some quote on his, I don't even know what it says, but it's like every motivational quote that gets said or every song lyrics. It's just like, I think you got that on your ribs.
I got it when I was 16, right? I think my dad had just died. And I didn't give a shit. So probably I needed to write something on my body to make it feel like I did.
Yeah.
It actually says, don't hate somebody for too long because you'll never know when you lose the chance to stop hating them.
Wow.
It's actually not bad.
Yeah.
But fuck. I'm still not asked.
No. So I was just thinking that. I was like, oh, interesting.
I don't know.
Mate, back on track, when we're talking about the cost of not doing something, I had about a half an hour phone call with Shane, who's another person working for our program yesterday, and he just called to update me with where he's at. like with the planning phase, and he's gone through all of the things that you'd expect. The fear, I've been on the tools. This is scary. It's starting a business in an industry he doesn't know, although he knows that there's the crossover with construction. And then he just said, well, what is literally the cost of not doing it? He's like, I could never forgive myself if I didn't have a go at this, because he's been looking for a way off the tools for so many years now, and he's tried multiple different things. And he's like, this is the way where he doesn't feel like he's leaving the industry or completely starting again, but he's got the passion, the excitement, and now has a life where he can live it on his own terms. And he's actually spoken to his son about bringing his son into the business as well, because he's been doing like a entrepreneur's apprenticeship with a weapon in Sydney. So he really knows business, and just explained how he's got this awesome chance to start it himself. His son will support him part-time, and then his son will move into the business. And he's always wanted to work with his son, and now he's got a chance to grow something together that is Shane's semi-in retirement plan, but then his son will have an opportunity to then, with his energy, continue to grow that business. And it could be something that serves their family for generations to come, will actually change their lives.
Goosebumps.
Because we were even working through, or even if you didn't grow a business and you both just decided to bill 500K a year each, I was like, if you do that from home, your profit margins are probably going to be 400K a year. And if you're both sat there earning 400K a year each, working from home, that's a pretty good life.
Fucking oath. I'd love that.
And over the years, that's going to get easier and easier. Yeah. And at any point, you can decide to turn the tap on and try and grow it. And if it doesn't go well for whatever reason, you can just dial back. If that's your baseline of the worst thing in the world that can happen, fucking incredible.
Yep. It goes back to what we spoke about a couple of weeks ago, right? There is 1,000 reasons, Shane, why you should not do this. So many that make so much sense. They're all logical. They're all sensible. They stand up to the pub test. Fuck them.
Yeah.
You just need the one.
This is where it's exciting, where people like Shane are going to step into this space, because he's obviously sharp. Like, he's been in some really senior roles, and he's emotionally intelligent enough and aware to know exactly where his blind spots are. And bringing his son into the business initially on a part-time basis, his son covers off every single blind spot or doubt that Shane had. So now Shane knows that he can just do what he's good at, being in front of people, doing video calls, phone calls, coffees, talking about construction, which he knows inside out. And his son initially will do all the kind of back-end admin operations, outreach, putting people into his calendar. So before he's even in business, he's made the best hire he could have. So now when he's going to go and help people hire the right people to their business, he's already got a run on the board.
Fuck. Again, I'm just so excited about this. For him, for us, like selfishly, I'm excited for the feeling that we're going to have when we get a phone call from Shano. Again, boys, 25 grand just landed in my account, first placement.
Yeah.
How good of a day is that going to be for us?
Yeah, it'll be cool.
Ah,
They want to come up here actually for a week and sit with the Harwell team and get into the mixer and learn it.
I love it so much.
Which would be sick. We went on a tangent.
Yeah.
Like we always do.
That's your fault as well, because you're hosting.
Yeah, sorry, God, sorry. The first thing we want to jump into is just helping people realize what that trap is of the cost of doing nothing. Because it doesn't mean that they're struggling and they're necessarily skint or they have no career. It's actually quite the opposite. It's that golden handcuff trap where they've been in a career for 15 years. It's all right. They earn good money. They're a pretty high performer, but that's the most dangerous place to be.
100%, because if you get to rock bottom, right, there's only one way to go. You fucking get moving to fix your situation.
Yeah.
When you're in that cruisy, comfy middle part, you're on too much money not to do it, but you feel the impact of going back to nothing or dropping down, going back to forwards, but you're not on enough money where your life is going to change next year or the year after that or the one after that. You might get your CPI increase, all right, fucking happy days.
Yeah.
So you're just stuck. But your lifestyle now is caught up to the point where people think you're doing well. You've got to keep spending money on things that make other people think that you're doing well still. So really you're living your life, you're going to work, not because you're happy or you want to do it, so other people think that you're doing as well as you want them to think that you are.
Yeah. I think there's a dangerous spot right now for people who are in, say, a salary role with no bonus component or commission, because you're hanging out for that CPI increase. I without knowing the exact figures, inflation's probably going up at a quicker rate than what CPI is, would you say? Like cost of living,
Cost of living,
all around. Yeah, sorry, but all around cost of living is outpacing CPI increases. So every year that you're in that decent salary, getting your CPI increase, that gap is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So it's a dangerous spot to be in.
I think who we're talking to here are people who are not at the top, but they're in the top kind of echelon of their career. You're not going from a junior to an intermediate to a senior, where naturally you get the salary bumps that push you along. You're probably already in that top 20% bracket. There's not really much further to go unless you radically change up or come up with some incredible new value for the company you're working for. And you just know that your salary now is probably going to be about the salary in 5 years and then 10 years.
Yeah. And this goes without saying, if you're in a salary position where the company you're working for is going on an insane growth trajectory and they're talking about giving staff ESOPs and things like that, where you do have that the opportunity to get skin in the game and a potential payout that's pretty juicy down the line, this maybe not applies to you. Mm-hmm. One thing I did think that I've never really considered, for someone that looks pretty successful on paper, they might be a construction manager, they've done really well, they earn good money, they've built some incredible projects, but they feel a bit empty inside, that they just don't love it anymore and perhaps this isn't their end goal. Do you think there's a bit of shame in admitting that perhaps they're not happy? Because the people they might share that to might be only on 80 to 100K and they're just making ends meet and things like that, whereas this construction manager might be on 200K or 250. Is there a bit of shame in that?
I don't know if shame's the word. Embarrassment, discomfort, a bit of guilt, maybe even too, particularly if it's someone who's earned less money than you and you moan about how hard your job is, your life is, right? When you haven't necessarily got the financial pressure that person might.
Yeah.
That's tough. But what would that person have in their life? Let's assume more money equals more responsibility, more pressure. Right now, they've got all these people who need something from them every hour of the day. They've probably got a couple of kids at home and moaning because they don't see dad enough because he's out putting out fires for other people on site. He's worrying about, the economy and what that's going to mean for construction and whether he's going to have a job in 5 years. All these different things, right? And then, I haven't got kids, right? But kids are expensive. Kids are getting older. They want to go on the school trip. Shit, I'm going to have to do some more hours at work. But now my wife wants to be at home and wants to go on a holiday. But that's even more time at work, but I'm spending more time at work to provide for the thing they just want me to give them in itself anyway. Like, you're getting pulled from both ends.
Yeah, it's a balancing act, isn't it? I actually listened to Darren Buchanan's pod with Blake recently on Confessions. And Big Dazza just shared how recruitment is a lifestyle. Incredible industry. You get paid really, really good money and it's incredibly fulfilling. But it is a bit of a lifestyle where you're kind of always on.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean you're always at your computer working, because I've seen people earn really good money working part-time hours doing it, but you're just always thinking about it. It's that obsession piece. So someone might be earning less money, but they walk off a building site at the end of the day as a carpenter and they can just fucking completely leave it and they go for a surf and they switch off and they're just present. But then they'll have other stresses to the person that's always thinking about work.
Yeah. How do you win? It's difficult. Yeah. Golden handcuffs is an interesting one because it's a good problem to have compared to other people, right? But that still doesn't make it any less painful for you as well. Like, you feel what you feel, right? You could be on really, really good money, but you're looking at someone, you're comparing someone who's on even more. Yeah. So you still might feel a bit inferior and a bit inadequate to them as well. And then the people you hang around with are going to be spending a lot of money on shit. Then you feel like you've got to spend more money on shit as well to keep up. So I don't think it's actually a number. I think it's that internal kind of acceptance and peace as to what you're making, right? Is that the right for the life you actually want to live, not what other people think you should?
Yeah.
The flexibility and the lifestyle around it. Like, if I get that deathbed wisdom, am I going to say, God, I wish I worked another 5 hours last week, when I was in my 40s and my kids were growing up? Or are you going to say, actually, I wish I probably missed that Thursday and went to sports day as well?
So hard, isn't it? There's no secret sauce to it. What about your situation? You were 19, you were a pro footballer. That's every young lad's dream in England. You decided to walk away from it because it wasn't right.
It was just like an undeniable feeling in my stomach. Because the story was, I 6 months into the pro contract, and then the Christmas period comes up where it's really busy in England. You have 3 games in 7 days, and they're all away from home, like down south or something. So fair play, he didn't take the whole squad. He just took the playing squad who were going to be playing, and I was in the bomb squad, so I was nowhere near that. So then I had a week off. over Christmas, which is unheard of in the football world. So I was just a normal kid. Just went out, a few beers, fucking ate some food, had a nice Christmas. And then the days were ticking down, getting back to that date, let's call it, 2nd of January or whatever, go back to training. And I just had that dread, like horrible, horrible feeling going, I do not want to go back. And then I don't know, I think just that self-reflection, why then? And I think, I can't remember this clearly, but if I'm going to try and put myself in that person's shoes, it would have been, the reason I wouldn't do it is to keep up the facade and the image of Adam Powell, the pro footballer. Nothing to do with me actually wanting to be there or thinking I could make it. It was really just about keeping everyone else happy. So I was like, fuck it. I was pretty aware that if I'm feeling like this, I'm not going to play well, which means I'm going to probably feel worse, which means I'm going to play worse. I didn't see this light at the end of the tunnel. It's not like a dip in form, which you have in business and sport when you go, just things aren't clicking at the moment, but I've been here before, I'll get it back. Yeah. This was
a different feeling.
Yeah, this was permanent. This was like, there's no actual happy ending here. With the mental state I was in, I think, not getting too soppy with it, I think if I had a really strong father role model figure who could have kind of walked me through that and maybe showed me it was more of a temporary feeling and given me some tips and tricks, whether that was a dad or even just someone I kind of trusted, potentially. If I came from a family of sports people who have all been through the highs and lows, maybe. But the cards I was dealt, I didn't have that in my corner, so I just backed my gut instinct and did whatever I felt was right.
Which has served you pretty well, mate, over your life. That was one thing I was going to ask. I know it's a slightly different situation to a senior professional leaving a career that they've built for years, but were you scared about what people might think about the decision you were about to make because of that facade of Adam Powell, the footballer?
Scared of how I would feel because of it.
Yeah.
Right? So scared that I would then be less important and I wouldn't be as admired and I wouldn't be as in demand as I was when I was Adam Powell, the footballer. It sounds wanky as, but that's kind of the way it is. It holds a lot of clout.
Yeah.
So scared of being less important to people I cared about, for sure. Which is probably why I decided that, 3 months after that,
you're off.
I was off to Australia, because I wanted just a new start, a fresh start, which has served us well so far.
Was the reaction ever as bad as what you were thinking it was going to be as well?
And no one gives a shit about your life. And that's probably a really powerful lesson. Right? They might for a minute, might for a day. Hopefully the people close to you. My mum and sister could see the relief in me. So they were happier that I did it, Like your friends don't give a shit in a good way. Like they don't go, you're not the footballer anymore. You're still just the same person. The people who you think, the people who you don't really care for that much, they don't care for you either. They've actually got their own life where they're stressed about not getting the promotion at work or they're stressed about whatever they're stressed about. And I think it's so easy to overlook, isn't it? Because we are the main character in our lives. Like what I do today on this podcast, I think whoever's listening to this is going to have the biggest impact in the world. And maybe it will. But maybe you've just got this on in the car, in the back of your brain, you're thinking about a horrible conversation you've got to have when you get to work. And that's actually what's most important to you.
100%. Big mindset shift for me was I used to think a lot of people cared about what I was doing, and they actually don't, because they're all too worrying about themselves and thinking, what does he think about me? But that person doesn't think, because they're thinking about themselves as well. Like life is like this one big movie. Imagine a film where there actually was no main character, but every character thought they were the main character. And you just would be able to tune into their internal dialogue. That's literally what life is. Yeah.
It's powerful, isn't it? Because then it's freeing. Okay, if I haven't got to worry about the weight of expectation of other people and they don't give a shit about what I'm doing, why don't I just do the thing?
Quite literally. Mate, the next part I want us to talk about is the cost that nobody adds up. So let's actually go through the cost of staying, and not the cost. Yes, let's talk about the risks of leaving and things like that, because that's potentially part of the cost of staying. But what's the cost of not doing it, in the sense of what actual physical money could they be leaving on the table?
Maybe we create an example here, so make it nice and tangible. I love when we start our businesses and stuff, our mowing company.
Yeah.
Let's say it is that. We're going to start a mowing company, me and Halves. It's going to be the best lawnmowers on the Gold Coast.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that'd be good, but I'm a bit scared. I'm going to stay in my job, actually. I'm on $100,000 a year, which is, it's fine. I can afford the life I want right now. Probably never going to be able to buy a house, but fuck, it is what it is.
Yep. Got security and safety.
Yep.
Allegedly.
But if I do start this lawn mowing company, and I was pretty good as a kid, and I'm pretty into sales and marketing.
Yeah.
I think I'll be good at it. I think we make some good money.
Yeah.
And you get paid, I don't know, $100 to mow a lawn, and we could do, a fair few lawns between us a week and a month. The cost of not doing it financially is the difference between your 100 grand and the money you would likely could or would earn by doing the thing. But that's for 1 year. Then you got to scale it out for the rest of your life. So if you think you can earn 200 grand mowing lawns compared to your 100 grand now, the financial difference of that, let's say you've got 30 years left of your life, fuck, how much is that? $3 million?
$3 million.
Doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, not the same thing, but doing the same amount of work.
Just the difference of $3 million, which that money used in the right way, the only difference is just the security and having to do a few extra other things. But then you look at it, even if it's 50 grand extra, if you're clever with that money and you don't just start buying, designer stuff.
Wanky backs.
Yeah, wanky backs. When you do have a year where potentially work is a bit slower because the economy drops, if the previous 5 years you've been reasonably smart with your money, you can typically weather that storm. I'd work part-time for a year. If it doesn't kill you.
I actually undercooked that, I think. You're right. That's just the actual dollar figure in your hand as opposed to what you do with that money. Now, when last couple of years at Hayes,
that's capital.
Yeah, last couple of years at Hayes, I did pretty well. Managed to save a deposit for a house. Amazing. Saved 80 grand or whatever. Bought my first home. Incredible. 3 years later, I've then bought a second house without putting any money in based off the equity of that first house. That 70 grand isn't just 70 grand. It was a 600 grand house, now worth $1 million, which then allowed me to go and buy a second house at 900 grand.
Which is now probably worth $1 million.
Yeah.
So really that 70 has created it's given you the opportunity to earn 500K of equity. How many years ago did you buy your first house? 500 grand in 3 years equity. So that 165 a year, pretty much.
All because I saved a bit of money.
Yeah. 3 grand a week.
Quick
maths. That's astonishing. And then add that up over 30 years on top of the extra capital. And if you can amplify that at a much bigger scale, like the difference we're talking is not just an extra 50 or 100K a year in your salary. Like it is, again, if you're clever with your money and you invest into things like property and they grow as it has been in Australia, we're talking like tens of millions.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Two Blokes, One Business podcast.
Now, apart from being world-class podcasters, we also run a recruitment agency called Harwell.
If you're keen to learn a little bit more about what we do, then head over to our Instagram at Harwell Group and check us out.
Back to the app. That's financially, right? But I think the actual bigger cost here is growth and development and fulfillment.
As a human?
Yeah, 100%.
What do you mean?
The cost of seeing other people do the thing and you not, I think that just gnaws away at you. It would feed that little voice in your head that says, I'm not good enough. People like me don't get to do this. I'm not cut out for that. The more you feed that by not doing stuff, the stronger it becomes. And then it is your identity. Then you are the person who the life has just passed you by.
So someone that could be sat there in a victim mindset, they might not have always been a victim from the outset. It's just those, I think we spoke on the last episode about how many micro decisions we make every day, the difference of falling on the wrong side and the right side. Maybe it's just been they've fallen on the safe side or the risk adverse side of all those micro decisions, which has then reinforced an identity that's meant they have become a victim over time.
And it's not horrible to say because the safe option makes so much sense. It's so logical. It's so sensible. You're protecting what you've got. How good is that? You've got to be a little bit illogical. You've got to be a little bit crazy sometimes to find the yes and do the thing. But it's almost like that kind of saying where they say, if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always got.
Yeah.
If you don't make any different decisions, then really, if you look at the past 10 years of your life, you can probably predict the next 10 years as well because you're going to make the same decisions.
Yeah. All these things that we're talking about, they all intertwine with each other. What you're talking about there is 10 years, you're staying on the same train because you can end up there. It's about going back and making those small micro decisions, which we spoke about another week. It's the victim-victor mindset. I know Elon Musk is now just worth, $1.5 trillion after the SpaceX IPO. So many people will go, oh, he's lucky. But what people forget, and this might not be completely right, but I think when he started Tesla, he sold his previous business and he was renting an apartment for next to nothing. It was a small apartment. He put every single dollar into Tesla. Everything he owned. there have been a million reasons for him not to do that. And so many reasons. He could have took the money, set his family up nice, and lived a really good life. And I know not everyone wants to be an Elon Musk, but the story I'm trying to tell here is even those most successful people in the world, there has been normally more than one point where they've just thrown everything on the line.
Imagine Elon's mum or dad or wife. Life's good. I don't think we need to do this. It's a big risk. Why don't we just, buy a nice holiday home in LA and life good? 100% you could, and maybe you should, but he didn't. And now he's worth $1.5 trillion.
Yeah. And we're not saying that the right thing to do is Elon Musk, because that's a different level of obsession. And I think he's divorced twice for a reason and doesn't see his kids much. But there's a lesson in that of what he's been able to achieve from where he was at, just because he probably thought the cost of not doing it.
It just comes down to identity for me.
Yeah. What's the spin-off or the byproduct of becoming a better human through a business through the journey of business, personal growth, actually pushing yourself out of the comfort zone to you as a person, like internally, but also the people around you?
Yeah, that's where I was going to go with it. I think, two angles to the people around you. I think naturally you are a better person for the people around you, but you actually surround yourself with better people too. So it kind of compounds. Like we all know those people where they walk in a room and they just lift the energy. They've just got drive and intent and passion. You can see they're on a mission. You want to be around those kind of people. You're naturally attracted to them. So if you're that person, you're going to attract other people. You're having a fucking crack. And the conversations you're having in that group of people are all about how to find the yes. How can we make this win? How do we solve this problem? As opposed to, did you watch Coronation Street last night? Oh my God, you see what happened on maths. Different low energy conversations compared to some of the ones at the start. It just compounds. And then if you go and compound it one step further, then if you get a level of success, let's say that's a bit more time freedom, a bit more money, a bit more knowledge even as well. What impact can that have on the family around you? What hope and inspiration can you give to your friend who might want to start something but is a little bit scared? You can then go and impart some knowledge. Fucking how good is that?
Yeah. I think the biggest shift for me from this journey has been my development of emotional intelligence and self-awareness. There are arguments that me and Britt may have had 5 years ago when we were working in corporate jobs that we wouldn't have today. Because the learnings we've had in business, like, at so many levels, like even how good my communication has to be with you and back and forth to make sure we stay tight. There's things that we do, the way we talk to each other, I can now replicate with Brit, of having the hard conversation but framing it in the right way. The way that we've obsessed over communication to our clients and our end user and things like that. What else? Just learning not to take things personally. Again, because they're not doing it to fuck you over. They're just doing it because that's a decision they feel is in their life or right for them right now. If you can just always have that mindset, my relationship has become so much stronger. Like, I got no doubt that I'll be with Brit forever, just because we've got this level of communication and understanding of each other, and this way that we can work through problems and hear her side, hear my side, and land on that solution. It's just undeniable that that's going to happen, and business has taken me on that journey. I don't think it would be the case if I was still working with Hayes. I don't think we'd have split up.
No.
But I don't think we'd have the level of depth and understanding of each other that we do.
I'm going back in my brain now whether to say this or not, but fuck it. It's my podcast. I wonder if she's more attracted to you.
100%.
And not that she wasn't anyway, but I think there's a new level of attraction because of how much fucking work you've done on yourself and how much you've backed it and how much you've taken risks and done it for the right reasons.
Yeah. Because women just want to fucking feel heard, mate. It's not like the old school mentality where like their opinions like don't matter and things like that. It's like women just want to be heard. And when they give you feedback and they can actually see you take that on, think about it and implement or change your behavior based off that feedback, that's all they want. It's not hard. And for women, one of the most attractive things out there is being a provider and being present. She says it all the time. She's just like, fuck, you're a good dad. Like, you're a provider. She's like, I know there's so many women out there that would probably happily try and steal you.
Scarcity.
Yeah. I'm like, well, fuck, just remember that.
So good.
Cool. Do you ever think, mate, there's a point where it's actually harder to move? Or do you think that's what people just tell themselves?
Like a stage of life?
Yeah.
There's certainly harder stages than others. I think as you get older, you typically have more responsibilities and accountabilities and people relying on you. Like me moving to Australia at 19. Yeah, sad to say goodbye to mum and sister. A few pals. See you, boys. I can see where the world takes me. Doing that right now. If I just left football now, let's say, if I stayed and it worked for 10 years and I'm in England and I want to go to Australia now, I've probably got a missus. I might have a kid. My family, I've got a nephew now in England. So it'll probably be harder to leave.
Yeah.
Visa-wise, a little bit harder to make the move. All these little different bits and pieces. So harder, yes. But is there more at stake for you to go and get it right? Yes. Like if I came home from Australia after 2 months and I said, this is shit, I've lost absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Whereas when you make that decision as you're a bit older, if you start the new business, the new job, learn the new skill, whatever it is, the upside of getting that right impacts so many more people around you, which then should be the reason why you should do it as opposed to not.
Yeah. There's always a balancing act, isn't it? As much as when you're a bit older, you might be in your 40s, doing really well at career, you got kids, you got a mortgage. Like there's a lot of reasons that it's harder to make that change because of those things. But then what do you have that you didn't have at 20, 25? You've got more life experience. You've probably got a network. You're just generally more intelligent. Then you might actually have a bit more backing where there's a bit of equity sat on your house that you can go and cash flow yourself for 3 to 6 months whilst you make that transition. So I always try and tell myself that every reason it's hard or risky to do something is the reason you make it work. And for every reason that it's harder to do it because of this, there's normally a trade-off. But then it's just back to, well, are people just trying to find all the million reasons not to do something, whereas you only need to find the one to do it? And there's actually quite a lot of them if you look.
I say by, let's say, mid-40s, you can visualize the rest of your life by not making the change quite easily.
Yeah.
At 19, I had fucking no idea what life was going to be. Like I thought I did, but I didn't. At 45, you've gone through enough cycles to know where you're at. You've obviously invested in a career that you're a certain level of the way into. You know, if you sit on that train, exactly where it ends up.
Yeah.
So you know exactly how you feel when you get there. And hopefully that's the right train for you. Fucking happy days. If it's not, the serious questions to ask yourself about what you can do about it.
It takes a lot of courage. Like we've seen Danny do it at Harwell. We sat down with him, probably a year ago now was when we first sat down with him. I think we spoke about him on the pod before, 15-year career in senior finance. He was the head of FP&A for CommBank, like one of Australia's largest employers. Got it cracked out on good money. I think salary was close to 200K. I know he won't mind me kind of sharing that. He took a massive step back. Well, they lived in Sydney, actually, and he took the jump to change career, come into recruitment because he just looked at the path ahead and he said to us, I could get a promotion to CFO and I might get another 20, 30K in my pocket, but the hours and the life that it revolves around being a CFO isn't what I want. He wanted to move his family to the Gold Coast. He wanted time to actually live that Gold Coast life. So he made the transition into recruitment and he, in terms of finances, he went backwards. We had that conversation with him. Like, I think you can probably get, in your first 12 months in recruitment, he may have got close to what he was earning before. May get close. But he was like, even if it's half, I've got myself set up and I'm happy to take a step back. Now, the next financial year in recruitment, I think he'll do 50K more than what he would have earned in that old job in less time and much more fulfilled. But he had to go through that uncomfortableness. But being a typical, like an analytical person, he probably weighed up, well, what's the cost of inaction? And if within 2 years I can push back beyond where I was and I've got the financial gain, but then I've also the time I get back each week to spend with my kids. When he adds both of those up over the years, the compounding effect of that is incredible.
And the energy to it, starting something new gives you so much new energy in your belly. Yeah. Which is probably one of my favorite things about everything that we do. There's so much of that just, let me absolutely take it on. But for Danny now, he could have matched his money right and finance, great. He knows it inside out. It's a little bit stale. Whereas now you see him, he's bowling around. Every new thing that happens to him, he just goes, when you guys do your whiteboard sessions, mapping out what jobs are on and where things are going to go, he just froths it because it's something he's never experienced before. It's why you go traveling, right? It's why you go to different cultures, different places. Yeah. You want to see things that you haven't seen. You want to open your brain up to different ways of living your life. And it's so cool seeing him just do that day in, day out and just looking at things that go wrong. What a great challenge.
Yeah. He said to me a few months into the job, he was like, every day he went home, his wife, Kate, just like, I've never seen you like this. Like, you've just got so much energy. You're so much happier. He was in a better routine. He was more motivated. You know, for the first time in years, he consistently got back into gymming every morning. Like, some of the stuff they're doing as a family on the weekends, and like the things he's just thrown himself into. Like, he's a pretty adventurous person anyway, but I guarantee some of it, that things they throw themselves into now, will be because he's done it with this and he's learned that they can go and do that.
Well, he's taken a big risk and it's paid off. So now all those little micro ones, do I want to go and start surfing? Fuck, is that it? And I've just moved my whole family up to a new state and a new job I've never tried before to go and try surfing. Piece of piss.
Yeah.
Just the contrast of it now, like all those little decisions, you're going, yeah, I will. Like, your risk tolerance is just blown through the roof.
He's fully come out the other side of it as well, because he came with me to a job registration, and it was for a head of finance role. So typically a role that 12 months ago he'd have applied on. And he walked out of the meeting and he just goes, I could not think of anything fucking worse than talking about P&Ls and this, that, and the other. He's like, it was like kind of icking him out in the job brief. He was like, oh, yeah, that sounds terrible. He's like, I could never go back to that. He has burnt the boat.
That's so good.
Yeah.
He's just, one of the greatest stories, man, at Harwell. And I'm so happy to have him in the team, eh?
Yeah. Love it. Mate, the next section we got here is what are people actually protecting? So like the fears that they probably won't say out loud. So let's say they are a construction professional in like a really reputable brand.
Yeah.
They could go out and start their own building company, or they could go out and start consulting. But being scared of like not having the backing of a brand or the credibility, things like that.
I think the visibility of it is huge. We had this a little bit as well.
Yeah.
If someone says no to Adam and Harv at Harwell, they're literally saying no to me and you as people.
Yeah.
Whereas if they say to Adam and Harv at Hayes, oh, they've had a bad experience with the business. Oh, they don't use global agencies. Oh, all this fucking bullshit that we can protect ourselves and protect our ego with. Yeah. So that's one. I think the fear of failure. Like when you're in a big business, you kind of just sit in the slipstream. People drop off above you, so then you naturally get elevated up to more senior positions, take on more responsibility. As long as you're a good employee, you will just move up the ranks. There's no structured pathway when you do it for yourself. It's literally work in, work out, take stock, change the work, do more work out, what worked, what didn't. There's no promise step 1, step 2. You can go step 1 to step 10. That's the exciting part of it. You can move as fast as you want. So I think the fear of failure, the fear of accountability as well. Like, I think that's a massive one. What do you think?
I think I definitely agree with everything you're saying. I think when we're talking now about big brands and people feeling like they need a big brand behind them, I'm kind of going, I think the economy is changing. I think consumer behavior is changing a little bit anyway. So I think that's playing into everyone's hand. Yeah. Whether it's, we see it in the recruitment industry, that's what we're in every single day, but consulting, tech implementations, a big client of mine, they just implemented a brand new ERP system across their whole business. For context, these guys are listed on the stock exchange with a cap value of about 1.8 billion. So it's a big company. A tech company, so say we've got ABC Tech, they own the product and they will also have teams that will actually come and implement the product for you, but they're big corporates. Yeah. What people are actually leaning towards now is they'll go to that company for the tech product, but they're actually using smaller bespoke firms to come and implement. And these are people that are just like me and you. So they were working for the big tech company and thought, no, there's a better way to do this where service can be a bit more intricate and you can give a much better experience. Let's go and start on our own. And the client still buys the tech product from the original tech company, but then these guys just come in and implement it. And the CFO that implemented it, he said it's undeniable. These guys with a much smaller brand, a much smaller reach, were always going to be the people I used because the way they did it is so different. So I challenge people that the economy is changing in the way that people consume. And also I think there's no better time to be a smaller brand where you can pivot and just operate so differently compared to the old big conglomerates.
Two things come to mind there. I think we speak a lot about AI and what it's doing in the world, and then what the opposite is: human connection, trust, knowing that you've got my back and I've got yours in person. You understand the pain I am going through or could go through if this doesn't go right.
Yeah,
AI can never replicate that kind of empathy. So I think being a 1 or 2 man band where you're so hands-on with clients and you're visible and you're there, you'll always get the nod over the big corporates. And I think the second one is, I actually forgot. I fully forgot what it is. Should I make one up?
Yeah.
The second one is that, I've actually remembered it.
Yeah, love it. I knew you would.
Business isn't like a fair game. There are disproportionate returns for the people who do really, really well. It's not like just spread around. There's 10 companies who do installers. We'll give them all 10% each. That's not how this shit works. The best get the best. Yeah. So if you're good at what you do, you're going to work your ass off to be the best. You're going to give a great service. You're going to do the right things, call people back when you say you are. You will get more of the returns than someone who hasn't got that level of dedication and commitment and desire and expertise that you've got. So you really make your own fortune in business, as opposed to, you've got to be here for 10 years before you get promoted, but Susan's been there a year longer, so she'll get the promotion first. It's all just bureaucratic. None of it's meritocracy about what you actually get what you deserve.
Yeah. And I think this is why it's so important that people can try and find a business idea or a transition that stays somewhat within what they already know, because people pay you for your knowledge nowadays. Simon Beard, I think he said this years ago, and it just stuck with me. I think it was when we started Harwell, and it just gave me a lot of hope and a lot of confidence. He was like, the next competitor to Nike is not going to be another Nike. It's going to be 10,000 micro Nikes, where sportswear is this one fucking big niche. And within sportswear, there are so many micro niches. Like there's never been more running sunglasses brands at the moment. They don't even do running shoes or running shorts or anything else. They are just hyper niched in running sunglasses, and there's fucking loads of them.
Yeah.
Whereas back 20 years ago, it might have been Nike. Everyone bought their running sunglasses along. So that's where it's massively going to change over the next few years. And I just think there's never been a bigger opportunity, because when you look at that sportswear niche as an industry, let's just say it's 10 billion in Australia. I know it fucking wouldn't be anywhere near that. But for 10 billion in Australia, if you're talking about starting a business, and for this to be an incredible move for you and your family, you need to earn 200K a year or 300K a year. What percent is 300K of 10 billion? So when you're talking about the spread of the best goes to the best, you also only need to go and get 0.000% of this market. And if you think you know enough and you've got enough of a network and you can give a good enough customer service, that's not going to be that hard. The hardest part is plucking up the courage to actually take action.
Go and do it. I've just finished reading Dan Priestley's Lifestyle Business Playbook.
Yeah.
Echoes exactly what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Our small business has never been easier, because we're not bound now just to our geographical location. Yeah. We're on the Gold Coast, right? We can go and recruit a role in Singapore if we want. We can go and do one in New Zealand. We can do one in Canada, like in Iraq. We can go and recruit a role wherever we want because everything's online now. Same for you, unless you're mowing lawns. Like whatever business, if you're consulting to people, you can do that now remotely and consult all across Australia, New Zealand, go to the States. The opportunity ahead of you is so important, is so huge. And same for your team then as well. Dan Priestley reckons the people that win, and we're kind of halfway there. I was a team of, I think it was 4 to 12 employees, a lot of contractors. So the people that just do one thing really, really well, get them as contractors, don't have them as full-time employees, based wherever they want to be based, and then selling something that's a product that you can kind of sell at scale as opposed to having to deliver it.
Yeah.
If you can go master that, and that could be, if you use an example, you're a construction project manager, right? And you have delivered some cracking projects and got really good results. You would have a certain level of IP in your brain that you could personalize and put a nice fancy name on and put it into a 5-step proven process to help your PM increase his job margin by 3%. That's your product. You can go and sell that now to any company, any PMs you want to get better, because you've been there, you've done it, you've got the track record, the credibility. There's your business.
Yeah, what would a construction company owner pay you to train his project managers on your perfect construction project process that you've created that's going to save him 3% on a $200 million build?
Yeah.
What would he pay you? Because what he would happily pay you, you only need to go and find a few of them a year. Just create a business in a sector you know.
Yep. And yeah, it's fucking good.
I wonder if we're wrong, or people think we're wrong. We're very biased, and we try and see it from all sides with these situations or these conversations, but we've started a business. We're helping people start businesses. So we're very biased, but we also do have employees at Harwell. And we might run into a bit of trouble with them one day and they go, we want to do it for ourselves. So we've got to make sure we provide them enough value. They don't want to do that. But what if people are listening to this and they go, I'm a CEO of a company and I climb the corporate ladder and life's fucking good and I love it and I'm super fulfilled and I think people don't need to start a business.
It's not for everyone. It's really not for everyone. And if it was, there'd be more problems for itself anyway, right? Because you need good teams. And I know where our brain's at the moment is how do we make it so good at Harwell with the best culture? They have so much fun. We pay them well. They've got the best systems, the best process, the best brand to leverage, that for them to go and leave and start from scratch is just so far away from where they want to be. That's how we keep hold of good people. So it's more putting the onus back on business, which I think is really important, opposed to 20 years ago. But it's so hard to start a new company. You need so much capital behind you. These big globals have got you by the balls. They know you can't go and leave without fucking $1 million from mum and dad.
Yeah. I think our situation's a bit different as well because these guys are all commission based. So they can earn a lot. It's easier for them to pump an extra 50K in their pocket a year by performing. Sometimes maybe we're probably more so speaking to people in salary positions where that's not an option.
For sure.
I'd also love to know the amount of people that do make it through to CEO that say our life's good, the percentage of the actual entire market. So say that person came through the finance route and they went CFO, CEO. How many CEOs come through that finance route in comparison to how many finance professionals there are out there? Like it would be minuscule.
Yeah.
So the chances, it's a rarity.
Opposed to the amount of people that have been in finance and started their own business. That's probably a far bigger number.
Yeah, like an accounting practice.
Yeah.
Or CFO advisory. We've actually got in October, Mum and her partner Dave are coming to Australia to visit. And we're going to get Dave on the pod, aren't we?
That's going to be good.
Because Dave is a managing director for one of the biggest companies back in Hereford, my hometown. And he started, I believe he started as like an operations assistant or a factory worker there 30 years ago. So he's someone that has climbed through that ladder, is now the managing director. I hope I'm allowed to say this. He has equity in the company. He also helped them found a new product or system that they use, which became a sister company that he now has equity in. So he's become an entrepreneur through going through the kind of corporate ladder climb. So it'd be really cool to interview him and get his perspective. And he's cool. Like he knows a lot of stuff. So I think he'll challenge our thinking, which I'm excited for as well, and probably put a few curly ones back to us.
I wonder if he's had opportunities or ideas along that journey to start his own thing. Obviously decided not to. It's paid off for him.
And I wonder where the chat around equity came in, because ultimately once you can get that under your belt, you feel like you've got that entrepreneurial itch scratched, or you do have the skin in the game where the business performs and does well and grows, that goes into your pocket rather than just being on that salary. So I wonder what stage that came in that he felt he didn't need to explore those ones as well.
And again, it's not for everyone, but if it's not for you, make sure it's not for you because you've actually done the retrospection properly. Not just chose that answer out of fear or out of scarcity or out of the comfort. If it's a bit too hard to actually change it up, make sure that it genuinely is the right decision.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Love it. I think that's us, mate.
Well, I enjoyed that. I tried to temper down how much amped up I got and how, aggressive.
Yeah.
Which I think was good.
Have you listened back and thought you might be a bit too brutal to some people? Is there a reason for that or just...
Nah. I just know how I feel sometimes at the end of these podcasts. I'm like, fuck it. We absolutely razz up big time. So no negative comments so far. Well, not to my face anyway. So
it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah. Maybe the wanky back's changed, yeah. These episodes, sometimes it feels like a bit of a time warp. I'm like, that feels like 3 weeks ago we were laughing about wanky back.
Mate, it's something I've got to live with.
Thanks for listening, guys. See you next week.
Hey guys, it's Jake and Lockie from Naturally Cooked Sunscreen, and we are pumped to be sponsoring the Two Blokes, One Business podcast.
We're on a mission to foster a generation of Australians who take sun safety more seriously and encourage it amongst their mates. You can find us at naturallycooked.com.au or follow us at Naturally Cooked Sunscreen.